Folks, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And more importantly, I'm going to say it now, Happy New Year. Yeah. How were the holidays, Christmas holidays for you guys leading up into 2020?
I think they were good personally. I got a pizza oven, which was pretty dope. 1,000-degree pizza oven, which is, I've eaten pizza like every day for about the last month. So life is pretty good. I don't see how it can be any...
Okay, I got to see. Can you top that?
I mean, we made a music video over those weeks and
yeah.
really didn't
Music
get a single
too.
day off. So, I mean, yes, I can. I can top that, I'm pretty sure.
You definitely did that. But look, you know what? I'm just really happy to see you guys. I mean, what a way to start the new year. But the thing is, though, it's great to be here at the Toronto Hilton because it's warm in here because as we speak right now, it's freezing out there. You have to keep your coat on.
I don't want to come out. They were like, can you take that off? It's going to make noise. I'm like, no, I won't do it.
No. Keep it on. But you know what? You guys are bringing the heat because a new album is out. So we got to talk about that. But before we do that, I got to ask, can we got some folks in the background here. Can somebody bring that thing over there? Because as you guys came in, you brought something. And I'm going, what the heck is this? So can you please explain why you brought this? Like, what the heck is this? Is this like a...
That's my explanation.
Is this like Dead Mouse's brother, like, you know, a live rabbit or something? Yeah. Like, what is this?
Well, it's celebrating Dream Riot. We have a track called White Rabbit on it. It was featured in our video for that single, and we thought we'd bring it here because it's super fun to wear downtown Toronto. We had a lot of stop looks today.
And we just got on It's a Bop with Spotify for this track, so we're celebrating.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I love that. Look, the inspiration for this album and the work that you guys have done, I mean, what was the thought in bringing this out? Because this is another version of what we get to be part of with you guys.
Yeah, I think it's sort of the next step for Featurette. I think a lot of care and a lot of love went into it. Maybe we could probably...
Yeah, Dream Riot is like the most honest and true piece we've ever put out to date. It's sort of the fusion between the Featurette girl character we explored in Crave last time, where she was in a relationship and like figuring out who she is, and now she's on her own and she's figured out who she is and she has a lot to say. So this is our social commentary on what's plaguing us right now, basically, like the darkest parts of society wrapped in these like very palatable beats.
So how does White Rabbit fit into this?
Well, White Rabbit is, I think, specifically that track is a little bit about the environment and sort of global, a lot about the environment. And I think the video we had, like, we're sort of digging an endless hole, and that's sort of why we brought it in. And it's geometric, so it's kind of a modern take on the problems and the issues. Even though on first listen, you're not really going to necessarily be like, it's not like the rainforest is burning down, like that type of thing. It's a little more subtle. But that's why we brought this in. It's one of the deeper, more meaningful tracks on the album.
What about the rest of the album? Like, what are we looking at? What are we feeling with this?
We've got everything from social media and its effects on mental health to, like John mentioned, the climate crisis, to depression and anxiety and bullying in school, and like all of it, though, at first face value is not so dark and not so like this is like the heavy hitting like notes that we're bringing you. So when you're surface listening, you're like, oh, like, this is a really fun groove or something like that. And then as you get deeper into it, you're like, I see, this is not about a relationship. This is about our relationship with the planet, for example. And like the White Rabbit is, for example, we're running out of time, right? Like Alice in Wonderland, we're late for a very important date. So that's what that was sort of signifying in that track.
Why was it important for you guys to take on this role at this point in your careers?
Yeah, I think it just happened. I think as an artist, you gotta keep pushing forward, and I think we don't write in a vacuum. So I think we're just affected by what's happened for us in the last year and a half.
This almost sounds like this album is your like the Who's Tommy. I mean, this sounds like this is something that can be put on a stage or something like that. Have you guys thought about that?
I mean, it's something we've been trying out with our audiences for the past, I'd say, year and a half while we've been writing it. Like, we get so excited when we write a new track. All of a sudden, we're like, you know what? We have a show coming up. Like, I can't wait. I don't want to wait for it to be out. And we try it out on our audiences and the reception we received when we did. So it was, like, big, like, bigger than normal. So we were like, okay, like, this is what we're doing now. And we just sort of, like, leaned into it. What do we want to write about? What do we want to say?
I'm sorry to interrupt, because you guys did a show before Christmas here in Toronto, right?
We did, yeah. We did like a little surprise show at the Rivoli. It was super fun. We got tried all the tracks, make sure everything's like responding well. It's been good, yeah, definitely.
And sorry, I was interrupting you before, and you were going to say.
You mentioned the stage. Like you're talking about like
yeah.
maybe like a musical. You're
Yeah.
saying like the Tommy the musical thing. I would say, never rule it out. I think that would be super fun to do one day.
Interestingly enough, when we first started doing this, I think the first description we ever made was like that we were making song cycles because our album was through composed, right? Like that first thing, it goes like we actually wanted to release it in 2 EPs, and the first part was like the dark, descending into the depths of the relationship, hitting rock bottom, and then what it looks like to come out the other side. And this is in many ways that as well, but I think we've sort of made it a micro idea now, where the original concept for the band Featurette was to make mini featurettes, if you will, which is why the visual component is so important to us and all that, because we're making like mini vignettes, mini like movies, if you will, right? Yeah. And so now instead of doing it over a whole album or a whole EP, we're doing it in the song. It's like, okay, well, here's our take on this, and how can we tackle this issue in 3 minutes and have it be impactful?
I cannot wait to see how this is going to be evolving. This is going to be amazing. But to see the what's going on, we got to know what else is going on in 2020. What is happening tour-wise? What's happening, appearances, whatever. What's going on?
Lots. We just secured some tour dates out west, so we're going to be hitting the West Coast for the first time of Canada, which is very exciting. And we are, well, I don't know if I should announce the band we're going to
Yes,
be
you do.
playing, but it's not announced yet.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Anybody?
Hot tip. If you know the band Blonde Diamond, formerly known as Youngblood.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a Lexi tour of Lexi and
Oh my
Alexis. And so we're going to be doing some dates out west, and then we're going to be moving back out east. We're going to have a release party that's going to be banging, date TBD, and then we're going to keep going probably over to Montreal.
Fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. Social media, place to go to follow you guys. Where do we go for all this?
Everything's at Featurette Music. All the socials.
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music. We're on all those wonderful things.
Guys, congratulations on all this. Like I said, I cannot wait to see how this all comes about. It's all about the White Rabbit. That's what it is. There you go, folks. Thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks, Rudy. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for doing.